Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, how you doing today?
I'm good, brother. Ready to talk about some running backs, linebackers. Finish this shit off.
We made it.
Oops.
We made it. What, 3 years in a row? This is third year? I think
Third
we've
year.
third year. And honestly, bro, this has been the funnest. Like, we've had actual all 22 film that we can, look at and see and own, really. And it's been an amazing ride, bro. I love the process. I think it's the most organized I've been as far as like having my notes and prospects together. So it's only right to finish it with running backs and linebackers. We saved them for last, not because they were the best, but more so because it's not that good. Like it's not that good. That's why we had to mash them up. Plus, it's real. I feel like it's real easy to analyze and scout running backs. In all honesty,
I
how do
would
you
agree
feel?
with that one. No, I agree. It's running backs. What do you look for? You look for dynamic athletes who can make people miss, have solid hands. If we were doing this in 2003, you wouldn't really be like, "Ooh, can you catch? Can you run routes out of the backfield?" You'd be like, "How big is this guy? Can you take 350 carries a year?" Where I don't think any running back's gotten over 300 carries since Zeke, or
Yeah,
maybe Derrick Henry.
the size is just not an issue no more. Honestly, one thing that you have to look at that I think so is straight up can the guy make people miss? I mean, if he can't make people miss, you can't play running back in the NFL. You're just not all that good, in my opinion. But the size thing, you look at a guy like Devon Achan last year, or A Chain, whatever how you say it. He dominated. He dominated the NFL. And Max, his size is poor, to say the least.
So,
Like
yeah, I
he's a
mean
twig.
he's a munch.
He's a munch.
He's a
So
munch.
it just goes to show you, like these guys come in all shapes and sizes. It doesn't really matter. Throw on the tape. What does he do on the football field? And as far as linebackers go, linebackers was kind of a mixed bag this year, man. Uh, I just want to give a big shout out to me as far as linebackers go from last year. Uh,
Okay.
Ivan Pace, getting shitted on by the pod by my own co-host. Oh, he's too small. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about.
I
He's a
would love to see what I
munch.
actually said. Be like, yeah, I just don't see it.
Something along those
Whatever.
lines.
One has to make me the villain in all the scenarios because I've
But
had more hits. I'm used to it.
we've been back and forth, my guy. It's all right. But let's go ahead and get into it. Before that, subscribe to the channel, like the video. You guys have been killing it lately. Join us for the draft on April
25th,
25th. All right, all live
5 p.m.
reactions, 5 p.m.
Pacific time.
Yeah, we'll probably get on a little earlier, probably late,
Yeah,
knowing us. But we'll see. Uh, do you want to start running backs or linebackers, Max?
I want to start running backs. I really want to talk about them one. Um,
Okay.
Obviously, me and you value different things. Our is definitely always more mixed than I think there's any other list. Like these are the guys we see the most differently. Like to give myself a pat on the back. Kyron Williams 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I was shitted on. You're stupid. He's too small. He's just
I
not
didn't
big
say
enough.
any. I didn't say any of that. I didn't.
I didn't say any of the other stuff, but it's okay. But I just want to give myself a pat on the back, like Juan said. So this year, like Juan said, it's you look at size with a running back, and you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, and last year we had two studs: Jameer Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. Bijan was most people's number one. Jameer was my number one. Just a typical Max go against the trend, but there's no one like that in this. No one's worth a first round grade. Not even no one sniffed a first round grade.
No, no.
I would genuinely be shocked if a team came up for running back in the first round. Even my number one guy, I don't value him more than a mid second, late, early third round guy. I don't know. How do you feel about that one?
No, I completely agree. I don't even. I think it's kind of you know reaching if you say that there's a bona fide for sure second round guy here. Honestly, I think a lot of these guys belong in the third round, fourth round, get that running back value. But I look at them as role players. You know, a lot of change of pace guys, a lot of hey sledgehammer guys. Let's switch up the tempo and let's go big. You know, I feel like it's gonna be a really good running back class for teams like Baltimore and the Chargers, who have that mentality of, hey, we're going to have a bunch of running backs. We're going to run the ball a lot. We want a different variety of guys. If you're looking for the bell cow back that has it all, like a Bijan, you know, like a Saquon Barkley, it's not going to happen. It's not here. You have to look at these guys with a different mindset. You have to look at them in a different mindset.
Absolutely. You said it very well.
So let's start off with Max's list, okay?
No, let's start off with one's list.
I already showed it, asshole. So,
okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Number 1, Jaylen Wright out of Tennessee. 2, Ray Davis. 3, Trey Benson out of FSU. 4, Marshawn Lloyd, USC boy. 5, Blake Corum. And if I had an honorable mention at number 6, Braelon Allen from Wisconsin.
Gotcha.
I watched these guys before Juan. And Juan goes, tell me a few names that you think I'll like. As we get into Juan's list. And the name I gave him was Ray Davis. And I know where he is, and I'm not surprised you got him there, but now I want to show his list. And I just give me like what you saw real quick, just because this is someone we talked about beforehand. You know, usually we don't do that.
Yeah. Usually we're kind of secretive until we get to the pod, just to show you guys the raw reaction. But yeah, I loved Ray Davis. You hit it right on the number. Max knows what I like in running backs. He knows my eye. He knows what I dislike. And Ray Davis is just one of those guys I really liked. As far as my list goes, though, a little different. Honestly, I'm not surprised by your guys, but mine goes a little different. Trey Benson from Florida State, number 1. Ray Davis, as we talked about, from Kentucky. Jonathon Brooks, Texas. Marshawn Lloyd, USC. And Bucky Irving from Oregon. All right. I think there's no other way to start this than Ray Davis. We both have him at 2.
Before we do you mind if I do take a slight detour? I just wanted to point out, you know, just for instance, last year, right? I had Jameer, Bijan, Kendry, Achane, and Zach Evans. Juan's list was he had Chaji Spears, Zach Charbonnet. You know, this is the most, I think, in line we've been with each other in a long time at running back. And I just wanted to point that out. Now, obviously, the list is a little different. I think we both have Ray Davis at 2, right? Did I hear that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. But you didn't have Jaylen Wright. Was he close?
He's in the same tier as some of these guys. I feel like really it's just 2 guys to me that I really like, and everyone else is like, like it's just more of a style thing. Jaylen Wright is one of these guys where he's a boom or bust as it comes from a home run standpoint. I just feel like he's a home run hitter. He likes to go for the big play, and if it's not there, it looks bad. We'll get into it when we talk about him.
Well, no, we are right now. I'm gonna keep going on the discussion. So this is what I saw, and let me just preference it. If these guys get drafted by a wrong team, it's over for them. I don't think like these guys are very scheme specific. Like, Juan, where do you see Jaylen Wright going and having success?
49ers. Everyone succeeds on the 49ers. I'm not really sure. Where do you see him?
Well, I just see like if a team like Dallas takes him, I'm like, ugh, I don't want. Like he can't do the powerful runs. He's literally if he was in Miami, and I know Miami's like a cop out. You need him in a wide open offense to me, Juan, because this guy's an athlete, right? The thing I loved about him, good frame, great speed. There's a lot of explosive runs. I think he had a lot of big chunk gains, and we understand Tennessee's offense, Juan. It's very collegey and stupid and weird. But what I loved about him was the ability to make quick and sudden cuts. What do I mean by that, Juan? He could plant his foot in the ground and go. Now, he does have good hands coming from Tennessee, but there's a lot of questions too. He's kind of more straight line rather than, let me stop, break you down. He didn't generate a lot of missed tackles, I'll say. right? And I'm sure that's one of your cons too.
Yeah, yeah,
The ball security is huge question. Huge, huge, huge. But honestly, I think with the NFL coaching, he has good. He's 5'10", 210 pounds. Not a bad frame, right? 4'3", 40, 38-inch vertical, 134-inch broad jump, all top of the line stuff. I think if you get him in a like Kansas City, would just be like, oh, what a perfect compliment to Isaiah Pacheco, who's more, let me just run up the middle, run hard. But Isaiah Pacheco's limited as an athlete, right?
yeah.
He's not no home run hitter. This is what this guy is. I have a perfect player comp to me, Felix Jones. This is a Felix Jones because the punishment isn't part of his game, but you get him out in space, you let him run, he looks nice.
Yeah.
And I'm just betting on the traits right here. This is something I bet on his traits. And I see some of the stuff on tape where I'm like, he can do it. He just doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's a lot of good, but there's bad at times. Like he runs super high to me. He's
Correct.
Pad level is really bad. It's really going to depend on the system. Like you said, you hit it right on the numbers. My pro comparison was Matt Breida.
I think he's bigger than Breida, but yeah, and he really is like feast or famine as a running back.
Yeah,
and that can be scary. It can really be scary.
And to be exact, Max, I had him at 6, so he just missed my list. Just missed.
Okay.
It. Yeah, I liked Bucky Irving a lot more than I expected. Let's talk about Bucky real quick, because we'll just go all over the place. Because fuck it. Out of Oregon, 5'9", 192. My pro comparison to him was Kyren Williams. I think he's elusive.
Oh, no.
He can stop on a dime. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Believe it or not, their measurements are very similar. Their 40 is very similar, but the tape says different. They look faster on tape. They make guys miss on tape. It's just it gives me the horrors of what I missed out on Kyren Williams. Maybe this is me trying to correct that mistake, but I came out of this process liking Irving a lot more than I expected. What about you, Max? What did you think?
He just the tape wasn't as good to me as Kyren. He made a few people miss, but I wasn't blown away like Kyren. I was like, wow, this guy first guy. It's always break his ankles. What he does have, he has good vision. He ran quicker than fast, and I think that'll always be a thing with him. Same thing as Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams isn't fast; he's quick. I bet if I looked it up right now, Kyren Williams' long of the year was 40 yards, because these guys just don't make people they don't have the home run speed of a guy like Jaylen Wright or a Trey Benson, right? That's the thing I saw.
On the Rams, though, he was fucking doing it, bro.
No, but again,
80-yard runs, but
50-yard run. It's a 50-yard run. That's what I just looked it up. 56-yard run. Right. That's not a home run hitter. That's not somebody who touches the ball and he can score. You know what I mean? He just was underwhelming to me, and I mean the lack of elite traits was very prevalent to me, and I don't think his agility is anything elite. Even then, I'm like, well, why didn't you do an agility drill? Why didn't you do something? And that scares me about him. And I just, honestly, I was like, what am I supposed to watch?
Yeah, no, I get you. I just think not you in particular, because.
And I think Kyren Williams only succeeded because when he got drafted to the Rams, I was like, oh, he's gonna work. The Rams will figure him out. Now with Bucky Williams, it took a year, but where does a guy like Bucky, what if he ends up in Denver that wants to be powerful runner? You're kind of like,
yeah, that's not gonna happen. And even though I feel like for his size, it's not like he shies away from contact. I feel like he has pretty good balance for his size and stature. Not saying that you said this, but what I hear a lot, the criticism from him is, oh, he's too small, his size, and the 40 just sucked. The 4.55. To me, on tape, it says different. I feel like he looked more like a late 4.4 guy, high 4.4s. But That's besides the point. He didn't run that,
I mean,
whatever.
I don't want to. I don't want to be the guy after. Like, I can't crap on his. Like, I know I said he doesn't have elite traits, but I'm not going to criticize him for having a slow 40. I didn't criticize Kyron for doing it,
Yeah.
but I think Kyron had better hands, better in the coming out of the backfield than him.
Yeah. I feel like they're the same, man. He had a lot of catches in the backfield. I would say he's second in the backfield to Ray Davis, who's probably the best guy.
Oh, can we
catching the
please?
ball. Yeah, let's do it.
Can we please talk about Ray freaking Davis?
Ray Davis out of Kentucky, 5'8", 211, 4.52, 40. Max, what'd you think of Ray Davis?
I mean, I turned on the film and I was blown effing away. I was just like, well, first thing you know is like, damn, he's a little small. But man, this guy runs angry, really. He's powerful. He has patience through the hole. He plays well for his size, able to push through contact, got great hands. The agility and speed are good. Again, this isn't a home run hitter. This is 40, 50-yard runs. The only con I have for him is he can't be a bell cow. Like, I don't think he can be your starting running back. You give him 25 carries a game. To me, this guy reminded me of Doug Martin coming out of Boise State, but a better pass catcher than Doug Martin. And I know he's not as big as Doug Martin, like, because what did Doug Martin leave out of? Like 225? Yeah, 225. But he's not a small little frail guy.
No.
He's 210.
No.
Yeah, he's 210.
Look, I turned on the film and I was amazed as well. I just thought every time this guy touched the ball, you felt like something was going to happen. It was a big play waiting to happen. And he surprised me with, for how little he was, this is where the weight kind of comes in. Like, he's bigger. He's a little bit more thicker than you think. Like, on 4th and 1s, like, he's getting those hard yardage against fucking Georgia. Like a tough defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that kind of stuff impressed me. Passing game, they used them legitly. Like, I seen him catch a little wheel route. I think I have it on the highlights. Like, wheel route, caught it like a receiver. I'm like, okay, like, he has some receiving ability too. Like, holy shit. He scored 14 touchdowns, Max. This guy was a touchdown machine. He has a nose for the end zone. He reminded me of Jaylen Warren, running back out of Pittsburgh. You gave him a lot.
Jaylen Warren for another guy. I had Jaylen Warren for another guy.
You gave him a lot more credit than me, Doug Martin. I think that's a little bit more higher praise than Jaylen Warren. But Jaylen Warren's not bad. I just, like you said, I looked at it the same way as you. Like, this guy's not going to be able to be a bell cow. And I don't think Jaylen Warren is either. Jaylen Warren's a really good, like, hey, second running back in the room. Let's have a little duo here. Najee, Jaylen Warren. Same thing with Ray Davis. I really like this kid. It comes back to, like we said in the beginning, a lot of these guys are just role guys. You got to look at it from a different lens with these dudes.
Yeah, I feel like you pair him with, like, if the Eagles drafted, the Eagles have Saquon, they got Ray Davis, I'd be like, oh, that's a great spell guy. Like there's a reason, guys. Jaylen Warren averaged 5 yards a carry and Najee averaged 4. But I mean, they need each other. You really can't have Jaylen Warren be the bell cow. Like, you can't do some of the stuff that Najee could do, but he's such a benefit to a team.
Yeah. Anything else on Ray Davis, Max?
No. We should talk about your number one guy and my number 3, Trey Benson. We haven't even talked about your number one guy yet.
Let's do it. Trey Benson. To me, this guy had probably the most elite traits out of anyone and highest ceiling. This is why I put him 1. He has the 4.39 speed. He's 216, 6 feet. I feel like that's prototypical size for a running back these days. Fights hard for yardage, and he's a home run waiting to happen. I gave him his comp to me. I had trouble finding. I seen a couple of them online, like a Todd Gurley. I don't think he even sniffs Todd Gurley talent.
No.
Maybe the ceiling if you're giving him some love. I seen a little bit of Isaiah Pacheco with the home run threat. That's how I seen him. because he runs
How did
fucking
you feel?
violent.
Did you see him breaking tackles left and right?
Yes.
Did you like?
Yes.
I just don't like. First of all, this guy isn't somebody you. To me, he kind of suffers like Jaylen Wright. He's an upright runner to me because he's so tall. He's 6 feet tall, but he's stiff to me. He lacks quickness to his game.
In the
That's why I
second
don't
level,
believe.
especially, I had that.
And this is where I think the evaluation for me kind of pushed him down the board, where I don't think he's going to be able to generate those missed tackles in the NFL as well, because he has no moves, right? He's kind of like Jaylen Wright. Maybe if you like him, you like Jaylen Wright. I like both. This guy's Ryan Matthews, where he's big, but he don't run that physical to me. He's not somebody I'm like, damn, he doesn't. This guy's not going to punish people. You think 6 feet tall, 215, you think of a power back. And I know the NFL, like, to me, one like Gus Edwards, right? What is he, like 6 feet, 230? I know he's got 51, but he runs to his size. This guy doesn't. He's got solid catching. I like him, don't get me wrong. I just don't think his game will translate. Again, if you get him in the right system, that home run speed can be nasty, like a San Fran, a Denver, Miami.
I think
like a wide open
will fit in Miami. Honestly.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like you want guys like one cut, and I've seen people compare him and Jaylen Wright to like Raheem Mostert. Like you just think about these big guys with speed who can cut.
I'm giving it a little bit more credit for his shiftiness. As far as I get what you guys.
I didn't like the shiftiness.
I get what you guys are saying when he gets to that second level. When he gets to that second level, it's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to try to get the edge on this guy and get the angle and home run speed it. But, man, if he can just learn to, hey, bro, the same way that you juke within the tackles and before the line of scrimmage, have that little one cut to you, do that in the second level, bro. Stop trying to just beat people to the spot. I would, he needs a lot of coaching too. A lot of these guys, they're not
the vision. He missed some cutback holes to me. Didn't always find the best route. And it was kind of like let the physical gifts carry you, and that's all good. But we've seen guys like Trent Richardson who had physical gifts and not having the vision. It can hurt you in the NFL.
And you know what? That's what scares me a lot about these guys. I feel like I found myself repeating myself time and time again. So I kind of just stopped putting like a big emphasis on it. The ball carrier vision from these guys are just lacking. A lot of these guys are in a hurry. They're, just not timing up blocks, not giving their offensive line a chance. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna go, and it doesn't set up the block at all. And I'm just like, dude, like, have some awareness, slow down, have some patience to you. Are there some guys in this class that do that? Yeah, but it's like they're lacking in other areas. But I feel like the elite athletes, it's tough to find a guy in this class that just has really good vision. I would say Ray Davis was one of the first guys why I fell in love with him, for the ball carrier vision.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd agree with that. I think Ray Davis's vision was like it stood out amongst these guys for sure.
Yeah. And I don't even think it was like that amazing, like to a Saquon or something.
No, yeah, it was just good compared to just average.
Yeah. Okay, who do you want to hit next? I felt like Marshawn Lloyd is a guy I've been seeing around a lot. What'd you think of him? Because you had him on your list, right?
Yeah, I had him at 4. I think same as you. We both had him at 4.
Yeah.
He's a shorter back. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9", but he's huge, like 215, good speed, good receiver skills, quality hands. He's able to generate big plays. I saw him make people miss, and it's kind of hard to evaluate people in USC's offense because they're just such a dynamic offense. You have Caleb, you have these good receivers. One thing, he doesn't run angry. He doesn't just go after you and try to kill you. He can run a touch high, even though he's a short guy. Like, he runs upright, which you're like, he's really loosey-goosey with the ball. Those are my big nitpicks with him. Other thing is a lot of injuries I've read. A lot of torn ACL, meniscus, banged up knee. Yeah. I like the guy. I think he could be one of the better backs. I think he's got a high ceiling. It's just a matter of, 1, staying healthy. 2, is just running with anger in the NFL and running with power. And, hey, dude, it's not the wide open game colleges where it's just all offense. And linebackers in the NFL will hunt you and they'll kill you. My player comp was a throwback to Marcus Lattimore. As soon as I saw a lot of knee injuries, I was like, that's a great one. Marcus Lattimore was, I think, the same freaking height as this dude, or maybe like an inch taller.
Uh, One thing that really sold me on not putting him one, like he definitely had flashes where I'm like, oh, this guy's the best running back in the class. The
Yeah, he
fumbles,
did.
the
Yeah.
fumbles, bro. Like it's bad. Uh, he needs to work on carrying the ball, which is coachable. He gave me DeAndre Swift vibes. I felt like DeAndre Swift, same kind of guy coming out, has some ball carrier issues, injury guy, but can make guys miss. He's elusive as hell. Had the one cut to him, can break down defenders, uh, can catch the ball out of the backfield. Uh, he gave me a lot of Swift vibes, man, which is not a bad comparison. It's
Oh,
just
Swift's good.
yeah, Swift is pretty
But
good.
he's never gonna be like, even his best year with the Eagles, you're not like, wow, damn, DeAndre
Exactly.
Swift. Ooh, that guy's scary.
Right. Exactly. Um, let's talk about
What about Jonathon Brooks? Why did you
yeah.
have him over?
I had him at 3. He was the first guy I watched. I really like this guy. He had some injuries to him. He's a 3-down back. Has some good outside home run speed, ability to make guys miss. I felt like he was a really slippery dude. He reminded me a little bit, shades like of Alvin Kamara, just a little bit. Uh, the one thing that bothers me about him is he is undecisive as fuck. Like
He dances.
he
He just
dances
dances in
way
the
too much.
backfield. Yeah.
Dances way
Mhm.
too much, man, and it bothers me.
He never like saw the hole and was like, I'm gonna run up in it. It was always like, I'm gonna go here. I mean, this is what I saw. He's good at good size, good frame. Check that box. To me, he's quicker than he is fast. I don't think he's a home run hitter. Definitely better speed than anything he tests because I think he's coming off a torn ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's able to be strong. He's flexible. He's got decent hands, playing in Texas. But again, it was just like he was good at all to me, master of nothing. He was probably 7 for me.
Yeah.
Didn't mind him. I think he'll be a fine running back, be a good depth piece, good like mid-range starter. He reminded me of Cam Akers without the hair on fire.
I had Alexander Madison for him.
Yeah, great, good second running back.
Yeah. Let's talk about Blake Corum, who
why didn't he make it for you?
he was I scouted 9 running backs. He was dead last. I did not.
Why?
I did not like what I seen. What did you see? And then I'll say my piece. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, he's small, right? He's got powerful. He runs powerfully for his size, in my opinion. Good vision. He can make people miss. He's decent agility. He doesn't fumble. Love the ball security. He definitely lacks the home run speed. He's an okay receiver. He's got some bad injuries. I'll give it to you. If that took him off your board, yeah. To me, this guy was Jaylen Warren. He runs freaking angry, and I loved it. I loved everything from him, man. He's tough. Excuse me. He's tough. He's a guy. He can't be your starter, but if he has if he's like the Jalen to your Najee, I love it. I love everything I saw out of him. I think he's going to be better in the NFL when he just works on catching the ball. He can pick up blitzers. He's tough. That's what I loved about him.
Yeah, all those things are true, but I just feel like he lacks the wowness of the position. Like, to me, he's a product of Michigan.
I'll say this. He ran through some lanes, like Ezekiel Elliott, rookie year on the Cowboys. He ran through some lanes. But I saw enough. I saw enough even when it was tough running. I saw enough. I think you're dead wrong on this guy. I think you're going to regret this one most of all.
We'll see. I feel the same. Like, as far as like he's a change of pace guy. He's not going to be a bell cow. To me, he just runs hard. He's a hard runner. He's short in stature. He's a little bowling ball. One thing I did like about him, and what's going to get him some opportunity, the blitz pickup. I think he's a willing like pass pro guy. I didn't really like. He has no creativity to his game. I don't see like a stiff arm, a spin move, a jump cut, anything like that. It's just like I'm running through gaping fucking holes and I'm getting 24 attempts a game. And to me, it's like you have so many attempts, you're gonna wind up scoring a bunch of touchdowns. You're gonna end up having a bunch of yards rushing. He's a product of Michigan. That's my opinion. He reminded me of DeAndre Washington. And if you guys don't know who that is and you want to go a little bit more current, Khalil Herbert, which is not a bad knock on him. Khalil Herbert's a solid player.
Excuse me, sorry. I think you're dead wrong, one. I think this guy's ceiling's way higher than you're giving him credit for.
That's gonna be a fun one to see, man, because I'm strong on Blake Corum. Let's talk about two more guys, and then we'll flip it to linebacker. Okay, Braelon Allen out of Wisconsin. What'd you think of him? Both didn't make our list.
I love him so much. I want him to be so good. It's just hard to evaluate him, man. He is a freaking monster, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at him, what is he? 6'2", 230. Amazing play strength and balance, good vision, decisiveness, pushes the pile. I think he actually has like better speed than whatever he thinks. But I mean, he's stiff as a board. He doesn't have the best agility. Not much of a pass catcher. Doesn't have great ball security. To me, this guy was straight A.J. Dillon.
Yeah. Something about him, what I heard is he came to Wisconsin. They were a run-heavy team and, power running scheme. This year they weren't, and they switched up everything on him, and he just didn't really fit well in their system. So that could have been part of it. This guy's going to get drafted by Baltimore or the Chargers. I'm telling you right now. He fits what Harbaugh wants. He fits what Baltimore wants. He fits what Harbaughs want, should I say, because they're brothers. But physical as hell, and the change of direction. It's just not there. It's anything that has to do with, hey, I'm gonna start, stop, something that you look for in like cornerbacks, like stuff like that. He has nothing of that. It's just all power, all straight ahead. Yeah. It's rough, man. My pro comparison was Rashad Jennings, a running back in the day, if you guys remember. Played for the Giants, played for the Jags, and
that's
played
a good
for the Raiders. Who was your comparison? A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon.
Yeah,
A.J. Dillon. Yeah.
And
Power.
You liked A.J. too.
I love A.J.
What'd you think? I suck at saying this guy's name, but from Notre Dame, the running back.
Audric Estime.
Estime. There you go.
I mean,
5'11", 221.
This guy's going to be another Braelon. Like, this guy's a Braelon Allen without the high ceiling. To me, it's just not enough speed. He's got power. He'll have a role in the NFL, right? He'll be able to be powerful. He's Chris Carson. He just runs hard, powerful, big.
I have the same call.
I think everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I've seen Gus Edwards a little bit. But like you said, he's a guy that runs super hard. He's going to get tough yards. And he was really good in college, but he's going to have a limited role in the NFL. He's going to be effective. I can see this guy during playoff games, like getting some real burn and having some big runs, every so often, but not much there. All right. Let me go ahead and pause this, and then when we come back, we'll go to linebackers. All right, we're back. Now we're going to do linebackers. Max, let's go ahead and start off with your list. Your list is on the screen. Go ahead and explain yourself. Nah.
Got it. My top five, Edgerrin Cooper, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Payton Wilson, Junior Colson, Tommy Eichenberg. Out of Ohio State, I believe, right? Yeah, I'm not wrong. Ohio State. So it's a mixed bag again. There's no first rounders, no one even close. Late second, early third round guys, but there's value. There'll be guys who are good NFL players.
Yeah. I got 1, Payton Wilson, 2, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Edgerrin Cooper, Junior Colson, and T.Knight out of UTEP. A little bit of a little
One special.
yeah, one special right there. Right, I love my boys from the small schools, man. All right, let's start with Jeremiah Trotter because I heard some things about him. I've been hearing mixed things about him, hot and cold. So when I finally turned on the tape, I don't feel like it was that bad. I just feel like there's not enough there to be super excited about. If that makes any sense. What did you think?
The big knock is he's just never going to be a good enough athlete to play the position. Excuse my cat for crying her little ass off.
You're good.
No, but to me, like when I was watching Nate Wiggins, I was like, damn, like there goes Jeremiah Trotter chasing somebody down, right?
Yeah.
He's just a relentless pursuer of the ball. He popped a lot at Clemson. Like I said, he just kept popping. I was like, oh, this guy, make another tackle. Good blitzer. He can read and react. Excuse me. It kind of was like, oh, he had high football IQ. He knew the plays. He did film studies. Yeah. He batted down a lot of balls. He's raw in coverage, and I think he'll struggle with just his overall size in the NFL. But my player comp, Eric Kendricks, undersized linebacker, 6 feet tall. Like, obviously, you want a big 6'5" guy, but this guy's, I think he'll be a better pro than we give him credit for.
Yeah, he's smart as hell. Great instincts. He needs to work on his open field tackling. He's not a good tackler. That comes from the size. Honestly, bro, if he was just a little bit bigger, I would like him a lot more. It'd probably be my number 1 linebacker. But the size just bothered me, and it showed up.
Correct,
he needs to hit the weight room like his dad, man. His dad was a lot bigger than him. Eagle great, but
yes, sir.
Definitely a guy that I would take a chance on late in the second round, 100%. Maybe early in the third is a little bit more of his spot. But my pro comparison to him was David Long. That's who I am. All right. Let's go to your number 1 guy from Texas A&M as your cat is crying because that's a horrible pick. That's what's happening.
She's supposed to go outside. We're not letting her right now. She's like a kitten. F you.
Edgerrin Cooper, 6'2", 230 pounds, ran a 4.51 out of Texas A&M. Max, what'd you see on film?
Well, first of all, this guy is like just a specimen of a human being, right? Like he's got like the super long arms. You're like, holy crap! Like, is this guy a linebacker or a safety, right? I feel like I don't know if you struggle with this, but like the linebackers we grew up with were like big, like hulking, like Greek gods, right? Yeah. And now you're just like, well, they're all skinny. Mm-hmm. Like he's 6'2", 230. Like I think Ray Lewis was like 250 coming out, right?
Yeah, and that was small.
Great. Yeah, that was small. Yeah, when the it's just different though, right? Like you want these sideline to sideline guys. But I mean, obviously, very athletic. He plays like a maniac. He moves around well in space. He's dangerous as a blitzer. He has short area quickness. The one thing he is, though, is he's over-aggressive, he's raw in coverage, and he doesn't have great play strength. He reminded me a lot of Darius Leonard. Obviously, that's very high praise considering what Darius Leonard was.
Yes.
But he just plays with his hair on fire. There's things he's going to have to do to get better in the NFL, obviously. Like, he needs to learn to take on blocks. But I feel like that's every guy on this list because you never see that shit in college football where you see a pulling guard, nothing. But I liked him a lot, Juan. I'm curious to know why you had him at 3 and not 1.
To me, he is just not a good tackler. I hated tackling. He needs to work on that. It's like it's always an arm tackle. Guys are always going through him. You know, when he has some momentum, yeah, that's fine. But bad angles, there's some blitzing ability there. But I seen a comparison to him. Devin Lloyd, the guy coming out of Utah. It's just nowhere close. I'm sorry. Like, it's not.
Devin Lloyd was a first-round pick.
Yeah, like, I don't see that. Is he a solid player? Yes. And if you're a defense coordinator that knows where to stick him in, Yeah, 100%. You can see this guy working out as one of the best linebackers in the class. Just not my cup of tea. That's all it is. I had him at 3. It's not like I hated him, but I understand the man and zone coverage ability that he has. He is pretty damn good. So I see the Darius Leonard comparison. My comparison was Kenny Young. That was mine.
Kenny Young.
Yeah.
Kenny Young. The Rams guy?
Yeah, the Rams guy.
Oh, okay.
Another Rams guy. Yeah. But can you think of a little idea from him moving to an edge, maybe? Like more of a blitzer, put on some weight? Can you see that? I've seen a little flashes of it at times. Like, hey, maybe we should put this guy on the edge. Guys are getting smaller now.
Who would be that guy? Like a Kyle Van Noy, you can kind of do both type guy. Maybe.
Yeah, he needs a lot more weight.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, what about Payton Wilson? What separated Payton Wilson as your number one guy?
Like, I really like Payton Wilson, man. He was fun to watch. There's one position for him that he's going to work out, and it's weak side linebacker. Okay? That's the only thing he's going to be able to play. He can't play Mike. He can't play strong. Nothing like that. I don't even think he can play safety, honestly, as fast as he is. He's Tevin Smith to me. When the Jaguars, a couple years ago.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, he fits him to a T. He's skinny as hell. He is freaking relentless, bro. He has no quit in him. The film that I'm popping up for you guys, there's times where he is a good 40 yards away from the ball carrier. And he's like, F that. I'm going to go chase this guy down, and I'm going to make the play. And I love that about this guy. The one thing that's scary, and the one reason why I'm scared as hell to draft him, the injuries. He has way too many injuries. He was injured in high school. He was injured in college. This is his first year that he was really, like, somewhat healthy. It scares me to death. And guys like this just don't typically work out with a bunch of injury history. But he's a good blitzer. He has great pursuit to the ball. And another job that I can see him doing that's perfect, like if all shit winds up don't working out, he is the perfect guy to put on the spy against a Patrick Mahomes, a Justin Herbert.
Yeah, no.
Put him on a spy, he's good to go. He does that so freaking well. And I find value just in that.
Yeah, same thing. First of all, he's 24. He's old for a prospect.
Yeah.
When he wraps up, he still gets pushed back. Like, he's not strong. Everything you said, I'm not going to go over the pros again because you already said them all. The injuries pushed him down for me from 1 to 3 because he's so talented. I just can't take my heart. Like, he'll get drafted probably later than the other 3 guys because just the injuries, if they're that as bad as I think they are. Telvin Smith, yeah, exactly. He is play strength's not his it's not his strength. It's literally sideline to sideline, speed. And that can be interesting. And I think if you find a good role, like Cowboys would love this guy's linebacker because he's small, fast. Yeah. He's not a bull. He's not anyone who's going to just push people around. Kind of reminded me, like you said, of Tevin Smith, but a bigger Tevin Smith because he's big.
Yeah, he's bigger. Yeah, Tevin Smith was 218 pounds coming out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was fucking.
He was a hell of a player when he was on. He was a hell of a player.
Hell of a player, man. Let's talk about Junior Colson from Michigan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you see out of Junior, Max?
Sorry, just give me 1 second. Just doing time. Got it. So Junior Colson, first of all, he's very new to the position in football in general. I believe I read that. His freaking tackling is horrible. His angles to tackling are horrible.
Yes.
He is a great looking prospect, like body wise, speed wise, but it's just kind of like, damn, like 6'2", 240, great. He can be rangy. He can be quick to react. He'll tackle someone and hit them. He's tough as hell. His instincts are raw. His tackling is raw. That's what's scary. Yeah. And his coverage can be a little raw. This guy, to me, was Devin Bush.
It's a great comparison. That's a great comparison. I don't even.
I know how much you love Devin Bush.
I did love Devin Bush, but I learned my lesson. He didn't work out in the NFL. You need more than body size. You need a. It's part of the reason why I'm kind of off on Cooper a little bit. It's like you need to be able to tackle like someone, like even a guy like Payton Wilson. I know he's
Yeah,
not the
but Peyton
strongest
Wilson
guy.
wasn't physical. This guy will be physical. It's
Yeah,
just like he just lacks the other stuff. That's what's kind of
yeah.
scary to me.
The instincts to me, they freaking kill me. And part of it is, his story is crazy. Like he's adopted. Um, he's from Nigeria, I think. So he came when he was like 10 years old or 5 years old, whatever it was. Adopted parents. Crazy story, but he's obviously still learning the position. He's gonna need a lot of coaching, and someone is gonna have to have their hands on him and really mold this guy. And that's why I couldn't keep him off the list, because there is a
Yeah.
world where, hey, you mold this guy up, teach him some tackling, some instincts, how to play some zone coverage, man coverage, because he has everything. He has the physical tools, like you said, to be a pretty good linebacker in the NFL. It's just got to develop it, man. Got to develop it. Who was your fifth guy, Max?
Tommy Eichenberg out of Ohio
Ohio
State.
State.
I think he was your sixth, I believe, if I remember what you
Yes.
told me.
Yes. Just
What did
missed
you
it.
like about him? I'm curious what you thought.
So he reminded me of Caden Ellis, linebacker out of Atlanta. He is just stuck in the mud. Like he has some good run defense.
He reminded me of Noah Sewell from last year, just being an unathletic linebacker. It just it hurt me.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I didn't even want to include a fifth,
Yeah, it
but
was hard.
I think it's hard, man. I just didn't. There was nothing I loved about his game. There was nothing I loved. There was things I liked, his tackling, his ability to play the run. But what do you think of him in coverage?
Solid. He was solid, But the short area quickness for me is what did it. Like it's just choppy. Everything's choppy. He's stuck in the mud. And it's just like, bro, like you're indecisive. You're stuck in the mud. Like you got no really, good instincts. Average tackler. Nothing really there. But can possibly turn out to be, a decent guy. Get a spot on special teams. These next couple guys that we're going to talk about, it's like special teams is where they're going to have to hold it in at. And a guy that I want to talk about that I watched a little film on, T.Knight. I don't even know if
You
I'm
tell
saying
me
that
about
right.
him. I had
6
nothing.
foot.
I didn't watch this guy.
6 foot, 233 pounds, ran a 4.63 out of UTEP. Okay, so had to dig deep for this one.
Texas Western.
Te-
That's Texas Western.
Yeah, I know. He had a combined total tackles max of 140. So he's a tackling machine. Puts his body on the line. The weight's an issue. The small frame, he gets washed out at times. I wish I can see him more in coverage. He just wasn't in coverage all that much. Sorry, I'm switching the camera. Excuse me. There we go. There's stuff there though to develop him. Like when he was in coverage, which was not very often, he was good in zone. He was good in man. I see him as a stash player that you can get in the 5th round, 6th round, and develop this guy. He's just on the shorter end of me of a mild.
Is this your Monty Rice fix?
No, Monty Rice. I was way more higher on him. I thought he was gonna be it. But I am a sucker for like short stature guys that are tackling machines and are really like when I see the coverage and I'm like, holy shit, like he's bumping guys in the fucking slot and shit. That's what gets me going for linebackers, and that's what I seen from him. But yeah, a stash guy, and I'm gonna be rooting for him. I'm not as excited about this guy like an Ivan Pace. I know I had Ivan Pace at like 4 last year, and he was a guy that some people were talking about, but not a lot of people knew of. I was so glad that we did that podcast before Chris Sims came out, because I seen that Chris Sims had him, and I was so pissed. I was like, fuck, man. Like, more people are going to know about him now. But Knight one of those gem guys. Watch out for him. Might go UDFA. Honestly, I wouldn't be fucking shocked at all. No. As far as all these other dudes, I have them as day 3 guys. Really, the only 2 guys the one guy that I see getting drafted high, like number 1 linebacker off the board, is Trotter. That's really it. After that,
I see Cooper and Trotter and Wilson's going to get drafted low because of the medicals.
Yeah,
personally,
exactly. Yeah.
I think if Cooper and Trotter are 2. Oh yeah, he'd be a first-round pick.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Medicals are bad though, really bad.
Very, very bad. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Any guys that you want to, honorable mention that you watched?
No, not from linebacker. Running backs, I have a couple, not linebackers.
I think that's it then. You want to say the running backs guys, or you're good?
No, I'm good. I'll stash it.
Join us on draft day. We watch
before the draft and do a mock.
Yeah,
the Max One cast. We haven't done our 1.0 yet.
Our one mock a year that I fuck up according to Max, because I do.
100%. You can have the first pick.
Okay, so I won't get it wrong. Drake May, right?
Drake May. Yeah. Joe Milton.
Yeah, join us on Monday. We'll either do a live or recording, whatever. We'll have it out, okay? Look out for that. We'll do a mock. And join us for the draft day, bro. Okay? This is it. This is it. We did every single position, not kicker and punter. But
or long snapper.
Sorry, don't forget about the long snappers. But we did every position this year. Usually we kind of like half-ass it because some positions are so bad. But with the all 22, it was hard this year. We had access to a lot of
never half-assed it. Thanks.
I mean,
thanks.
Come on. There was a year with like tight end, bro, that like there was only one guy. Yeah. We did that this year. There's only like 2 tight ends, bro.
We did pass catchers though. We did so many receivers. Come on, like 20 receivers.
Yeah. But years with like no D tackle sometimes and shit. It's just like, okay, like I'm watching day 3 guys at this point.
Yeah, correct.
But join us for the draft, first round. Even join us on Friday. I'm thinking about doing a day 2 live stream. Maybe Max will stop by and give us a little surprise visit after work. But make sure to subscribe to the channel. You guys have been killing it lately. Make sure to comment on this video, whatever thoughts, opinions that you guys have about your top running backs and top linebackers.
Linebackers. Okay? Yeah, come on.
All right. Anything else, Max? You good?
No, ready for the draft. We're literally less than a week away. Let's get it. I can't do the Mexican whistle like you.
I can't do that. I suck at whistling. There you go. All right, we out. Peace.